'Twas a year ago this week that a video was uploaded, a review of Spyro Enter the Dragonfly.
That was a year ago? Are you fucking kidding me?
But to the dismay of the handsome lad that created the video, this led to a year's worth of requests to review
Spyro: A Hero's Tale. Get it? Because Spyro has a fucking tail?
Welcome to this video, that has been a year in the making apparently, except not really, I've only been working on it for a week. After the raging success of Enter the Dragonfly, haha, the Spyro series was in jeopardy and needed a new game to spark the fans' interest back into the series. That brings us to A Hero's Tale. It starts off with some Gnasty Gnorcs spreading these dark eco crystals around the dragon village before this red dragon, locks Gnasty Gnorc in a cave or some shit. I'd normally give out about a returning antagonist, but Gnasty wasn't burned alive in lava, so it gets a pass. I am so happy not seeing Ripto though, it's about time. With no warning, it cuts to Spyro and the Professor having a yarn about what we just saw, which is weird.
But not as weird as Spyro's voice.
Nasty Gnorc. Didn't I defeat that guy years ago?
The hell is this? He sounds like he belongs in the Mafia or something, as the little whiny bitch.
Hey Nasty, you forgot to pay your protection. If you don't deliver soon, the Don will have you sleeping with the fishes.
So starting the game, everything is as you'd expect, running around a homeworld collecting gems, but what the fuck is this shit? I press the square button to charge and flames come out.
And pressing the circle button makes him charge.
If it ain't fucking broke, don't fucking fix it. Of all the things they could have possibly done to fuck this game up, they went with the most blatantly obvious thing that the player is going to notice immediately. Come on guys, it's not that hard. Moving past that, while the music doesn't make me think of Spyro, it does suit the game and the graphics are vibrant and cartoony, so it's a good effort to recreate the magical world of the Dragon Realms. We've got swamps, jungles, floating cities, PTSD and icy villages to name a few locations. They all look great, except for the swamp, but I'd say that's a good thing. Our first objective is to speak with Moneybags, who owns a store and likes to dress like an Egyptian monk now for some reason. While I really like the idea of using gems to purchase stuff like upgrades and various weapons in a Spyro game, it's a shame that there really isn't a whole lot of stuff here. Once you purchase the Horn Slam, which also uses the circle button, the only things you'll be buying are keys to open stuff, maps to teleport to different areas, and bombs to blow shit up. I bought a gem multiplier because I thought I'd have it for the rest of the game. The look of shock on my face when it ran out after a few minutes and I'd barely picked up any gems. Money well spent. Now that we have a key, we can open this door and begin.
Small dark holes. Not a problem for me, Spyro.
That's disgusting, Sparks. You should be ashamed of yourself. Also, since when can you speak English, you speck?
Like most great games, we get lots of area to play with while progressing through a tutorial. It's not as bad as it sounds, although with unskippable text it can be quite tiring, especially when the game tries to be funny.
I'm old and I take a really long time to tell stories. So, how about I just tell you how to destroy the dark gems instead?
Was it so hard to program a way for me to skip text?
In case you couldn't tell from that, the game is very child-friendly. While there is nothing wrong with that, I think games are better when they appeal more towards teens and adults with their humour and themes. Kids will find it funny, but it helps your game stand the test of time. Just look at Crash. It was cartoony and goofy for kids, but the overall tone of the story and levels were actually kind of dark when you think about it. That's why I always preferred the Crash series. Also because Spyro games are typically pretty easy. That is another returning complaint here. There isn't a whole lot of challenge in this game, at least any that stems from good game design, but I'll get back to this later. Completing the Dragon Village, we learn about the Dark Eco dark gems and light gems. We need to destroy dark gems to open up new areas and collect light gems to also open up new areas, and power up power-ups like the supercharge and invincibility. We also have dragon eggs to collect because hey, we're unoriginal. Completing sets of these unlocks the typical stuff like concept art among other things.
Okay, so am I allowed to start having a bitch yet? Yes!
I am one level in, and this game is already repetitive and lazy. Much like Spyro 3, this game features multiple playable characters. We get to play as Spec, Sergeant Bird, Hunter, and Blink the Mole. Blink goes underground into caves infested with spiders and grenade dispensers, Sparks McCloud goes full Star Fox, and Sergeant Bird takes on the speedways, which is actually really cool. And then we have Hunter. Finally, we get to play as Hunter, and it's not too bad. He gets to have a bit of proper level action, using his world-renowned jumping ability and now signature bow and arrow. Also slow wall climbing to enhance fun gameplay. But aside from Hunter, each of these characters can find Spyro an egg and a light gem, but that is the problem in my opinion. You are forced to get the eggs first, so if you want the light gems which are required for progression, you have to play a harder version of the same thing you've already done, which really sucks. It's so repetitive and it takes so long. It's not like I'm going to leave and come back later to get the main collectible. Why can't I find both at once, or at least choose which one I go for? It really bothers me, especially because the Blink levels are slow and tedious as fuck, and the Sparks Fox levels can also be kind of annoying.
But even with my issues, I still prefer the multiple characters gimmick here over Spyro 3, because Spyro takes centre stage, and just having the ability to play as Hunter saves it for me, as well as Sergeant Bird in some fun speedways.
After completing the first level, we have to use this ball gadget to get to the next level. Why? Why waste time and disk space on this when it doesn't add anything? Did they take one look at this and say, yes, we need innovation? Fucking idiots. Once we destroy all 10 dark gems, we get to fight Gnasty Gnorc. Why does he have boob plates? This boss is pretty generic, not much to say really. Defeating him unlocks Electric Breath. Yes, a returning gimmick from Enter the Dragonfly and the GBA games, Spyro has various breath abilities: fire, electric, ice, and water. Water? Well, that's lame. The game even tells you that it's only used for operating water wheels and will not kill regular enemies. Yeah, it's as effective as strapping a fire hose to your face. Now we get to use the Professor's teleportation device to travel to the next hub area.
Oh dear God, don't take me into Wrath of Cortex, please!
We see Red summon the next boss, Ineptune.
I bet she'll have lots of character development between now and when we get to destroy her.
Before we can do that, however, it's come to my attention that this game has taken some serious inspiration from the Jack games. Giant elevators that replace loading screens, underwater civilizations, these moving platforms, spinning on poles when it fucking works, the light and dark gems, lots of spiders, using the D-pad to select your weapon or breath ability, and even the wall jumping from the Ratchet games is here. I know most of these things are tropes of the genre, but damn, it feels like Jak and Daxter at some points. Also turrets, because that's exactly what I think of when I think of Spyro, wiping out entire species to save a single dragon egg. So it's time to fight Ineptune. I've gone from playing Precursor Legacy to Little Mermaid the game. Quick Spyro, find a boat and stab her right in the tits. I wish. This boss sucks. It's just the exact same thing over and over again, only stopping so that she can say, "How did you defeat me?"
It's a terrible boss fight, very lazy and far too easy.
Like I said earlier, the entire game is very easy, and I only ever die when I'm either trying to rush through a level, which is a sign that I'm not enjoying the game, or because of dumb glitches. For the majority of the game, I was plagued with this really annoying glitch where sometimes when I'd try to make a jump, the character would spin in a 360 first, making it almost impossible to make jumps safely. It made some of the more platforming heavy sections of the game a nightmare. But I think I've figured out the problem. In most games, when you're attempting some platforming, you may find yourself adjusting your position to make sure you land safely. This may lead to the character not facing in the direction you want to go, but it's okay because they can easily be steered in the right direction. I think the problem here is that if you're not facing where the game wants you to face, it feels the need to adjust your trajectory for you, resulting in this 360 nonsense. This isn't Call of Duty, mate. Do as you're fucking told, please.
I hope I'm not the only one that suffered from this. Some of you probably think I don't know how to play games or some shit, but I guarantee this ruined the game for me.
But if it wasn't that killing me, it was endless respawnable enemies in cramped spaces, or the fact that they forgot to add post-hit invincibility. You've got disk space for worthless ball gadgets, but not for post-hit invincibility? A requirement for the genre. Fucking great. This got me killed regularly, as a single obstacle can drain all of your life. So I've just been editing this video, and I realised that I forgot about the part where I fell to my fucking death for all eternity! We make our way to this snow area which has a level known as Ice Citadel. I'm just going to leave this image of a totally not random Jack level here for a second. There we go. We get to fight Red finally, and fuck is this boss hard. It took me about 30 minutes to pass this, and it's definitely the hardest part of the game. Not because of any cheap bullshit like I mentioned previously, this is just a hard boss. But it's not the final boss. After traversing a lengthy volcano and a level that had me like, oh yeah, I was wondering what happened to this thing, we get to the mines and Red's laboratory. I actually really enjoyed these levels. I hadn't found myself enjoying the game as much as I did here since I played Dragonfly Falls, the second level. We fight Mecha Red in a battle much easier than the previous encounter with him, and the game is won. The professor is saved and he plans to torture Red. Sick fuck.
And after all of that, the game just sort of ends with a big whoop-de-fucking-do. Damn.
Overall, I thought this game was kind of okay. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good in my opinion. Some people may enjoy it, it does feel like a Spyro game, and it's a 10 compared to this fuckness. But for me, while there were times I was absolutely loving it, the game-breaking glitches and repetitive stock nature of the gameplay wasn't really enjoyable overall. Spyro: A Hero's Tale gets 5 out of 10. And to make it clear for some of you, a 5 is neither good nor bad. It's the most subjective score I could possibly give, and it's totally up to the player if they like the game. I can't say I did like it overall, but I'm sure, much like other 5-worthy games like Wrath of Cortex, there will be plenty of people out there that enjoyed it, and that's fine.
Be sure to join me next time when I take a look at Spyro Shadow Legacy on Nintendo DS. But until then, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. I'm Square-Eyed Jack, and have a great fucking day. Thanks for watching.